Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Fantasia of the IR Emporium. This is Sewing with Tay, and today we are doing a sew along. I have had this on my to-do list for a while, and I am home on break for the holidays, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to try to film a full tutorial, which I don't always do. So today we're going to be doing Simplicity 3010. Looks like this. Ooh, it is bright. There we go. Looks like that. I'm going to attempt to make all three pieces. I found this cable knit fabric at Joann's. I'm super excited about. I can go through some of the details with you. This is the 18 through 26 size pack. I decided to cut out a size 24. I might have to nip tuck it for my preference, but we'll see once I get it sewn together. And if you look on your pattern, okay, I'm going to have to show it to you differently because this light's too bright. So I'll go through here and I'll show you how I picked out my sizes. We'll go through the pattern. I will show you my fabric, and then we'll start with sewing the little top. Okay, if you look at your pattern, up here you'll see materials that you need, suggested fabrics and notions. You see the sizes and sample and body measurements. So I am making a size 22, but you see here the waist is 37. Oh, sorry, 24. The waist is 39 and the low hip is 40. My measurements are 40 in the waist, 50 in the low hip. I thought that the 26 would be too big because if you come down here to where it says finished garment measurements, it has a different bust. Sorry, it has the bust for A and B since they're two different tops, and then it has the hip. So if you come over here to, sorry, trying to get to focus, to this row here, which is 24, you will see that the low hip is 49.5 and the bust is 44. My bust is 44, but I felt like this might work for me because this fabric does have a little bit of stretch. I didn't want to go here because it's 51.5 and 46 in the waist, so I felt like that would be too big for me. So I'm going to cut out a size 24. Alright, the first pattern piece. The first pattern piece is number 9, which is our front. We're going to cut 1 on the fold. The next piece is number 10. This is our back. We're going to cut it on the fold as well. We have number 11, which is our neckband. We're going to cut 1 on the fold. And then we have pattern piece number 12, which is our armhole band, and we're going to cut 2. So I have this deep olive green cable knit fabric that I'm going to be using for this project. It does have some limited stretch, so I'm hoping that it'll be okay, but it has stretched this way and stretched that way. So this is the fabric we're going to be using today. Alright, here's my front and my back. And I'm going to start by sewing together my shoulders and my side seams since both of these pieces are cut on the fold. Here's my back. And this is my front. I'm going to put right sides together like so. I'm going to pin my side seams. I plan to use my serger for most of this because it is a sweater, but I think for like the shoulder and neckline I might use just a straight stitch because I'm worried about it getting a little bulky with the marrow stitch along the edges. This is looking a little wavy, has me nervous, but we're gonna trust the process, at least try to. So here is the shoulder and the other shoulder. These are very short shoulders. There. I'm going to take this to the machine. I'm going to sew across here, and I'm going to sew down here. Attempt to use the serger first. We'll see how this goes. Put this down, lift my foot up, and then we're just going to serge straight down. And that was the shoulder. So then I'm going to do the same thing on the other shoulder and the other side seam. Okay, I decided to try this top line before I did any more steps, and I'm feeling like it's a little big, so I am going to take in the side seams. Also, this is a sweater knit, and when I put it on, these straps started to fray. So you can see like they're very, very frayed now. So I'm going to see if I could still attach the binding to them, but I might have to cut this fabric over and do it again. We'll see. So the next thing we have to do is finish the armholes in the neckline. This is the armhole band, and the way that the instructions told us to do this, I am not going to do it that way. At least I don't plan on it at the moment, because this is so narrow. This is only a 1.5, 1 3/4 band, and it wants you to sew it together end to end like a circle this way, and then fold this in half to get like 3/4 ish, and then sew it on. I think I'm just going to do that, but I'm going to serge it on. I'm just very nervous about these shoulders because they got very small. I'm nervous to sew this with the straight stitch because I'm afraid that the stitches will not allow the fabric to stretch anymore. Also, we want these to be a little bit smaller than the armhole circumference, and I did make this smaller when I reduced my bust, so I'm going to remeasure this. I'm getting about 10 1/4, so 20 1/2. This here is currently 24, so I am going to take off 1 inch, and I'm going to make it 19 1/2, because it has way more. Let's go 18 1/2, because it's going to stretch. So my 18 1/2 is about here, and you will see that this fabric will stretch another 2-3 inches past that. So I'm going to cut these at 18 1/2. Like that. So I'm still going to sew these sides together end to end. Then I'm going to fold them over like this. It's a very, very narrow margin there to get a 3/8 inch marrow, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, I am back from the serger. It looks kind of like that. We're going to fold it so that wrong sides are together, like so. And then I'm going to put a pin into it. Folding it wrong sides together all the way around. And make sure we're keeping those edges as aligned as much as possible. we have something that looks like this. And we're going to attempt to attach it to the armhole. I'm going to take the seam where I sewed it together. I'm going to put that on the outside, on the side seam, and then you're going to put right sides together. So I'm going to make sure this is pinned pretty good. And because I cut it a little bit smaller, the goal is to stretch it to fit. So you see here it's a little bit shorter than the armhole. We're going to stretch it so that it fits. Just like that. And then I'm just going to pin all the way around. You want to make sure that we are pinning all 3 layers. If not, you will have a hole somewhere, which is something we do not want to happen. The pins that I put along the binding, I'm actually taking them out and putting them through all 3 layers so that the pins are all on the same side. You don't want them to be hitting in there, because when you're using your serger, you cannot sew over pins. And you can't sew over these pins anyways, because I'm putting them in horizontally, which I don't typically do, but I felt like with this being so short, that this is a better way to hold them and make sure that I'm getting all the layers. Okay. And I put these ones on the wrong side. I'm going to flip this so that all my pins are together on the same side of the fabric. So here is our pinned armhole binding, and then if this works, we'll do the same. Alright, wish me luck. Let's see how these go. Get it up under there, put the needle down, put your foot down. We're going to see these pins are on the wrong side. It looks like I started sewing on the wrong side, although my pins are on the bottom, which is what I didn't want to happen. So I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to do it this way. Make my life easier. Get it under there. There's a pin here. There it is. Alright, and this is what we have. So a few holes right there. Have to try to fix that. It's not looking too bad, just these holes here. Let's see if we can go over this again. Catch some of these in here. little too thick. This serger has some knife issues I've been trying to fix that I have not fixed yet. Okay. If not, it's a little stretched out, but this is at the side seam underarm, so hopefully it's okay. Here we go. Alright, let's try the other side. Alright, so we have both armholes finished. And now we have to do the neckline. So the neckline was cut on the fold, so we just have to sew together one side. And that side we will put at the center back neck, and then we'll start pinning her around. I do want to make sure I mark those darts. So I'm going to take this to the machine and I'm going to sew one side, and then we'll start pinning around the neckline. Alright, so the neckband has those two notches. That's one here and one here. They go here and here on my top. So I'm going to fold them wrong sides together. And I'm going to actually pin these first. Right sides to the body. Wrong sides together for the neckband. Then right sides together for the top. Then I'm going to pin in the middle, making sure I catch all three layers. Now we'll do the rest of the neck. This is the back. I'm going to pin this here at the center of the back neckline. Then we're going to give it a stretch to fit it everywhere else. Did that wrong. This is a little difficult with a sweater knit. I made this more challenging than it had to be, but I really liked this sweater knit fabric that they had at Joann, so I thought this would be super cute. But all the same rules do not apply when sewing sweater knit fabrications. Okay, let's make sure we get all of those pieces in there. Important that we get all three layers. Like this one is not all three. There we go. Now we have to do the other side. this was going to be very simple. So where the shoulder got a little slim because of the fabric, we have to make sure that we are sewing it to the body. Okay, that looks good actually. This one's a little rolly. Don't want that to roll under. Alright. Our neckline is fully panned. Now we're going to take her back to the serger. Alright, we're going to find a spot to start sewing. I like to start at a shoulder or something like that. It's like a good place for me. There we go. It's a good idea to kind of give it a little pull when you're sewing. Okay, we're back at our shoulder. Alright, this calls for a turn back hem, but I don't want to do that. I want to put like a band on the bottom here, just like the rest of the shirt. So this is about 17. I am going to take my fabric I have left over. This is on the fold here actually. And I do not have chalk. I'm going to say about, let's just say 17. When we put the seam in, it'll be a little bit smaller. And I'm thinking 2 inches, so I'm going to say 4 inches here. But it'll be a little bit less than 4 inches once we, or less than 2 inches once we get it all together. So we have our band here. This doesn't stretch this much. this the same way. I'm going to quickly sew this piece together and then pin it on here. I'm going to fold these in half, wrong sides together, then pin it to the right sides of the top. Pin that there. If you can hear my children, I am a boy mom, and we are home on Christmas break, and they got video games for Christmas, so you can hear tons of boy noise in the background. But here we are. This is going to be our hem, and we're going to serge it and be done with the top. Alright, broke a needle. I am back. I'm not quite sure why the needle broke. It didn't hit a pin or anything, so keep going. So we have our band attached to the bottom of the shirt. I'm going to attempt to top stitch this seam allowance down on the neckline without overstretching it, so let's see how that goes. Alright, this is top stitched down. This is the neckline. Now let's do the armholes and we'll be done. There we go. Alright, y'all, this is B. The top is finished. I'm really excited that I took that couple inches out the side for a little snugger of a fit and added the bottom band because I wanted it just a little bit longer. So I think it came out nice for my struggles of using sweater knit. And you can see the detail on the knit. Super cute. Kind of square-ish neckline. But yeah, that's it. We're going to move on to part C. I'm going to do the sweater last because I just want to. So this is going to be a 3-part series. This is part 1. I'm going to start part 2 right after this so I can put the skirt with it and show you that whole deal there. If this is your cup of tea, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you know when I'm making videos. I'm always open to suggestions, new patterns that are coming out. So if there are any other sew alongs you want me to do, or if you have questions about this sew along, please leave me comments in the comment section and I try to respond to everyone. Until next time, y'all.